Ouch! Ouch! This is a book from the 70s? Actually, 2 books from the 70s. These are probably the most valuable cookbooks that I've ever owned because these have basically been banned. They're impossible to find. You literally cannot find these anywhere. Inside this book, you can find all the official Disneyland recipes. This is incredible. All the Disneyland recipes that people have spent lifetimes trying to replicate. Obviously, this is not surprising that Disney doesn't want these books to be published anymore. We're gonna be making the recipes from it as well. This is promising. So this is volume 1 and this is volume 2. This one specializes in recipes from all around the world. So we've got a lot of recipes from like Disneyland France. When you open it, I mean, this is very much like an old style kind of book, which I think it's fascinating. They put an address here. If you want to purchase more books, you send them a letter and they will send it to you. Probably not anymore. Now they're probably like links in the bio, try Amazon. So the category is actually the same in both books. Beverages, appetizers, soups. It's basically got all the categories. And then the one thing, wow, 1 page in color. I didn't know color was invented back then. Beverages. I think this got alcoholic drinks on a Disney book. Maybe that is the reason why this was banned. I mean, if you guys are interested, we'll try it. The Mickey Mouse Margarita. Wait, I'm not joking, it's actually on here. Yeah, so this is volume 1, which is the international one. One thing about this is it doesn't have any pictures. I think a lot of old cookbooks, this was kind of the standard back in the day. You can't expect much, you kind of have to use your imagination. I'm sure this was already very expensive for the time. This is in great condition. I'm gonna put this in a safe or something. I don't know, I feel like this is only gonna be more rare as time moves. It's got this sticker on it. This cost $12. So this is volume 2. But like the thing that gets me about these books is the fact that Disneyland is so secretive about the recipes and the foods from the theme park because obviously they rely on people going to the theme parks, buying a ticket in order to experience these foods. But on here, they just basically lay out all the secrets. So for example, this recipe here, it's like a mushroom soup recipe, and then it says on here that this is served at the Disneyland Hotel. So basically every recipe tells you in which part of the world it comes from. It's honestly a really cool concept and I think they should make like a modern version of this. I actually like this book better. This is the one that has all the recipes from American theme parks because I find this one a little bit more similar to the current foods that Disney makes in the theme parks. It's just cooler from like a contemporary point of view. So we're gonna make some recipes from these books and I'm gonna show you the recipes because honestly the chances that people own these books is like none. I love Disneyland food, so this is exciting. So the first recipe that we're gonna try out is actually from the first book. This immediately got my attention. It's called the Monte Cristo sandwich, which I guess it's like a popular thing. I've never heard of it. It's almost 2 pages long, but I actually don't think it's going to be that difficult. I don't know. We'll see. So this is a recipe. I'm not telling you to take a screenshot. I'm just telling you that my videos are in 4K for a reason. And that's all I'm gonna say. This is a really weird recipe. This is basically a cheese, turkey, ham, fruit, blackcurrant jelly, deep fried sandwich. On the second word, this stopped being a sandwich. I looked it up. I mean, it's food, it's deep fried. To me, this is what Disneyland is all about, so I do want to try it. So the first 2 steps of the recipe is to make the currant jelly sauce and a fruit spread. Luckily, we live 50 years in the future, so take that, people from the past. We don't need to do these steps. We can buy them in a jar from Amazon, so go us in 2023. Can't believe I made it this far. Because we're gonna use the fruit from the jar, we're going to move on to making the batter for the sandwich. What's actually gonna be fried. Step number 1. Place the water, egg, salt, pepper, and food coloring in a bowl and using an electric mixer, mix well at low speed. First of all, I'm shocked there was an electric mixer back then. I would have thought a contraption made with wire and a cow. Maybe 2 horses in the front. For speed, for energy. Okay, we need 2/3 of a cup of water. I think this is probably kind of like a pancake batter kind of thing. I don't even know. So this is 1/3. And this is 2/3. On the recipe it says 1 small egg, but I'm just adding an egg. It's been 50 years of antibiotics fed to our chickens. A small egg? It is not. A small egg you can't find anymore. So 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I feel like I'm capable of measuring half a teaspoon just with the power of my mind. Okay, that seems about right. 1/8 of a teaspoon of white pepper. I just want to say, the prices of spices right now at the supermarket are criminal. Like, I am shocked at the price of pepper. 1/8 of a teaspoon is, yeah, that will do. Never ruined a recipe because of too much spices. And last it says 1/8 of a teaspoon of yellow food coloring. 1/8 of a teaspoon of a modern amount of food coloring will be way too much. Like, we'll make this radioactive yellow. I'm just gonna, I guess, make a tiny little hole in here. Oh, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of yellow food coloring. I don't want to go too crazy because just a tiny bit of food coloring, it's this much. Imagine if I added 1/8 of a teaspoon. I'm literally just touching it. Great. And we're supposed to use the electric mixer on here. Okay, because this is like radioactive yellow. Like, I would have thought that I used like 8 eggs on this. Maybe this is why the book is banned, because this is exposing all of Disneyland's secrets. 1 egg and the rest is water and food coloring. Honestly, I kind of admire the hustle. To our radioactive yellow mixture, we're gonna add the flour. So this is us adding the dry ingredients. So I'm gonna add 2/3 of a cup of just plain flour. So 1/3. Oh my god, I nearly ruined the book. I need to be more careful. This is not funny. Some historian is going to unsubscribe. And the last dry ingredient is some baking powder. That's a lot of baking powder. 1 teaspoon, so it's 1 teaspoon and 3/4 of a teaspoon. That's a lot of baking powder. 3/4. I'm just gonna use the electric mixer, and this is going to be our batter. So this is pretty much it. It also doesn't make a whole lot, so I guess this is only supposed to make 4 sandwiches, which we're only making 1. So that's our batter for our meat fruit sandwich. Next up is the sandwich part. So we're basically making a Swiss cheese, turkey slices, and specifically Pullman ham. I don't know what that is. Only 1 slice each. I guess this was probably made during the World War. I don't know. Specifically asks for white bread. So we've got white bread. I think I'm gonna make 2 sandwiches. Not because I'm hungry, just because I want to eat one and then another one in case it looks great for the thumbnail. That's how sad my life is. It says on here, make 4 sandwiches putting cheese between ham and turkey. Ham, cheese, turkey. You're also supposed to be using Swiss cheese. I don't know if I said that already, but that is what you're supposed to be using. So I'm gonna start with 1 slice of turkey. Why is there holes in my turkey? What the hell? 2 slices of Swiss cheese. Why does everything have holes? Oh wait, this is Swiss cheese. It's supposed to have holes. So 2 slices of cheese and then 2 slices of ham. Can't say this is my favorite ingredient, but you'll be fine once it's all cooked. So 2 slices of ham and that's it. That's a really sad sandwich. I would need at least 3 times the amount of filling, but I guess it's Disneyland. Profit is the #1 force behind every decision, and this sandwich is the proof of that. We're supposed to cut this into 4. It says cut into 4ths and put a toothpick through each quarter. I don't have a toothpick. I didn't even know toothpicks existed still. I thought people just brush their teeth now. I thought this was a tiny sandwich. It's about to get even smaller. Not me using an expensive Japanese knife to cut a sandwich. Perfect. I don't have toothpicks at home, so I'm just gonna use a chopstick. It might be... Okay, it's too big, but it'll be fine. I'm still gonna do it. Wow. This is like canapes if you're social distancing. I'll just take mine from here. I'll just grab it from here. Me at a birthday party. So the canapé is lovely. So now that we've got whatever this is, ready. Just imagine this is a toothpick, that's all. So now that that's done, and we've also got the batter that we prepared, we basically have to dip the sandwiches in the batter. This is such a bad idea. I think I'm gonna prepare the oil before I do this because this is screaming disaster. So it says heat about 6 inches of oil to 340 Fahrenheit in a fryer. On the ingredients it says to use either soybean or vegetable oil. I don't even know what soybean oil is, but it's probably extinct by now. So I'm just gonna use vegetable oil. 6 inches is a lot. I don't think we need that much, so that seems very wasteful. So I'm just gonna do whatever I've got left in this one. Why is my house built uneven? So all the oil is coming to this side? That is an issue I never thought I would have. If anyone knows how to fix it, that doesn't include tearing down my whole house and rebuilding it, let me know in the comments. Architects, engineers, we need you. So I'm gonna heat this up. How do you do this? I cook so often that I don't even know. Oh wait, this is it. So I'm gonna let this heat up maybe for a couple minutes. I'm gonna drop a tiny little bit of the batter just to see when the oil is ready. Yep, very much not ready. Me when I order a glass of champagne with a raspberry in it. Come on, do your thing. Can someone tell me why the oil ain't oiling? Okay, so it's kind of bubbling up now, so I'm gonna dip the sandwich in the batter that we... Oh my god. Why is it falling apart already? How do you do the other side? With a fork? Oh no, the bread! Oh no, that's not it. Wait, we need to try this again. We're gonna have to rethink this. I think the best way to do this is to actually use a fork, because otherwise this just keeps falling apart. And with a spoon, I'm gonna coat the top of it. Actually, this might be the best way to do this. I am a genius. Because as soon as you dip it, the bread gets too soft and the whole thing just falls apart. I think this is better. This is better. Imagine how tired I am of being inside my brain all these years. Wait, because this might actually work. If you imagine this is melted cheese, it kind of looks delicious. So this is kind of what it looks like before we put it in the oil. Interesting. Maybe it could be a little bit hotter. No, it's doing its thing. And I guess we flip it. That was a premature flip. Me when I was in my mom's uterus. Okay, so this is frying now. We've done it. Okay, this is why we always do more, because something's always gonna fail. It is frying. Now we gotta wait for this to stay like a golden color. It's kind of annoying that you can see the mark of the fork, but it is what it is. I'm assuming this will be ready to flip. So it says to cook this until it's golden brown. I guess it's not there yet, but it is crispy. So the batter is super crispy on here. This is looking kind of delicious. Also, probably the most unhealthy thing I've ever cooked. I think the cheese is melting out of the sandwich now. I'm like staying there because we only have one slice. I think this is almost ready. It was surprisingly quick. I feel like this is ready. It's making a little bit too much noise, so I'm just gonna get it out. Let me flip it to make sure it's cooked on the other side. It seems cooked, right? I mean, anyone who gets this from the menu doesn't have any standards, so you could serve it raw. Ouch! That was hot. So now that you've tried to kill me, okay, that is basically it. This looks good. It sounds crispy. So we're just gonna make this another 3 times, at least. I'm gonna dip this in the batter, and then this might not be my proudest one yet. Okay, I'm not gonna spend too much time here, because I know what happens if I spend too much time on this. It's falling apart. Okay, what do I do now? What do I do with the fork? So some of these are gonna look a little artisanal. This is either genius or the worst idea ever. I'm gonna dip the sandwich in the batter with my own hands. That'll be the way. That is the way. So now I'm gonna drop it in the oil. This is dangerous. That worked! This is a move that my mom would pull. I guess I'm officially grown up. This one is looking real toasty. This is like Monte Cristo on a holiday. So we're gonna get it out. And this one, I think we're gonna flip it already. This one looks better. So that's all that matters. Okay, but would you look at this? Would you look at the level of control that I've got going on here? This is like a pool party for heart disease. And everyone's invited. This one is definitely right. Oh, for me it's when it touches the raw one. And it's contaminated now. Oh. So this one's ready as well. And these I think need to be flipped. But my point is we found a method in the end, and it's working, kind of. We got there in the end. I think this looks the way it's supposed to look like, which is, I mean, I actually think it looks pretty good. Keep in mind, this is supposed to be a deep fried sandwich, and a deep fried sandwich it is. It actually smells really good, and also listen to this. Kind of crispy, but actually it's kind of losing the crispiness a little bit, but it was really crispy just a minute ago. I just don't know why it smells like fish fingers. Interesting. Okay, so now this is all about the presentation. So obviously, because this is served in a specific way at Disneyland, we are going to serve it the way they do it, which is interesting. Okay, so it says on the book, take out the toothpicks, which we never did. Okay, sprinkle sandwiches with confectioner's sugar, serve with the fruit compote and the currant jelly. Just imagine this is like a cute basket at Disneyland with like a cute paper, no parchment paper that I cut into a poorly shaped square, a rectangle if you will. Some of these are way crispier than others, but overall I would say they look kind of delicious. Okay, we're gonna not show this side, just as if we're at Disneyland. And I think they officially serve 4 at Disneyland, like a full sandwich kind of thing. So I'm trying to find the better looking ones, which I think is kind of this. We haven't done a lot of things in this life, but we've done that. Oh. We almost done that. And that is what I would like to call a cursed Disneyland sandwich. So we're gonna serve it the way they do at Disneyland. So they keep on stressing the importance of the sauce. So I guess I'm gonna put the sauce in the center. Okay, so this is the fruit spread. I'm just gonna mix it a little bit. I guess I'm gonna put the fruit spread right in the center. This is so weird. Cheese, ham, fruit spread. Wow, I love that. Just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it did. Ooh. No, it really did. And this is the black currant spread. This smells like petrol. Kinda hate it. Ooh. Wow, welcome to Disneyland 50 years ago. Some things should have been left in the past. That's it. A whole new take on Disneyland food. I bet when you clicked on this video, this is not what you expected. There's no way back now. Because when you find out the other recipes that I've got planned, it's only gonna get worse. Just to finish it off, we're gonna use some icing sugar. Wait, that looks good. Wow, icing sugar fixes anything. And this made the whole thing look like Disneyland food. That's what it looks like. Wow, that is the secret. Sugar. Sugar is always a secret. This actually looks beautiful. That's a Disneyland 1970s Monte Cristo sandwich. Drop another YouTube channel where you can watch this. I bet you can't. Because I was curious about this, I decided to look up whether Disneyland still makes this dish across the Disney parks around the world. And surprisingly, this is a really popular dish still to this day. So there's like a million photos of it. If you type in Disneyland Monte Cristo sandwich, you will find a lot of results. This one is from the Blue Bayou restaurant at Disneyland. This is a photo from the Disney food blog, and look at that. That is the Monte Cristo sandwich, and it looks really similar to mine. Maybe we've done something. Let's give it a try. I think this is gonna be good. Let's give it a try. That is incredible. The fruit jelly goes incredible with the cheese, ham. The cheese is super melty in the center. It's really good. The turkey, the ham, the whole thing, incredible. The icing sugar is like the cherry on top. Oh my god. The oils when you bite into it. It is a moisturized sandwich, that's all I'm gonna say. This is incredible. This is really good. Was not expecting this. So once you bite into it, it's almost like a French toast. It's incredible. It's really good. So next up, this is a recipe from volume 2, specifically from the desserts chapters. I'd like to believe this is one of the most iconic foods at Disneyland, especially in the winter. This is a recipe for Disneyland's gingerbread, specifically the Mickey-shaped gingerbread. So the recipe starts on here, and then on this side you've got the icing for the recipe. I could be wrong, but I do think this will be a great recipe because I think traditional gingerbread doesn't take any eggs, and there's no eggs in this recipe. I was about to say this is vegan, but there's butter in it. Is butter vegan? So you can find the Mickey-shaped gingerbread at the Monorail Cafe and the Disneyland Hotel. Obviously, this is from 50 years ago. Maybe it's not 50 years ago. 50 years... Did Disneyland even exist 50 years ago? Did this come before Disneyland? Okay, Google, when did Disneyland open?
The opening date of Disneyland was July 17th, 1955.
Oh, no, it was open. Anyways, please don't take screenshots of the recipe. That would be unkind to Disneyland. So the Mickey-shaped gingerbread is still a thing. It's still a very popular item at Disneyland. I've been to Disneyland a few times and even I've tried it. It's really good. I will be able to tell if this one's good. For this to be accurate to the real gingerbread from Disneyland, we would need it to look something like this. I'm gonna go and say already that the decoration will look nothing like this. But we will try. I think I've got all the ingredients for this, which is mostly butter, sugar, flour. That's it. And a lot of spices, which is a great thing because it's gingerbread. In a large mixing bowl, cream the butter with the brown sugar and add the dark molasses and blend until absorbed. Butter and brown sugar, that's all we need now. Hopefully this is big enough for this. So the first thing we need is butter and sugar. We've had this discussion a million times and we're gonna have it one more time. I don't agree with the measuring system for ingredients here in America. What is this, like stones and sticks? Something like that. It feels like from 50 years ago. But one thing that we need to make this a standard in the whole world. The butter comes with the measurements. This is beautiful. Every single time I see it, it gets me every time. It just makes life so much easier. So we need 1/4 cup of butter. And look at this, we just cut it. Isn't that simple? So 1/4 cup of butter. And I'm actually going to cut this butter in smaller pieces because it's so cold that I'm never going to be able to cream this as it is. So I'm just making my life a little bit easier. It's the way I can bake now. It's the way I learned from the best. Betty. First name Betty, last name Crocker. So I'm just going to put it in the bowl. By the way, my knives are so powerful. They're like a single mistake, no finger. There is no room for mistake here. So if you think that my knife skills have gotten so much better in recent times, it hasn't. It's the fear. It's like cooking with someone pointing a sharp knife right on your neck. That's literally what it is. Okay, this is not my best measuring. I'm assuming it's dark brown sugar. Maybe at the time the light one didn't exist. So that's 1/2 cup of brown sugar. So this is basically going to be our first step. So we're gonna cream this really, really well, like until it's fully combined. We'll get there. I swear, cold butter is the #1 enemy of baking anything. I literally can't think of a scenario in which, unless you're making some French pastry, then maybe, but I'm gonna have to put this in the microwave because this is not, the butter ain't buttering. I put this in the microwave for 5 seconds. And now, is the butter buttering? The butter is buttering, but the bowl ain't bowling. So, it was too small. Let's try this again. My first impression is this is not a whole lot. It's pretty smooth, but there's just not a lot of it. How many gingerbreads are we making? So we're gonna add 1/2 cup of dark molasses. I don't know if I saw this hack on TikTok or if I saw it in my dreams. I'm either crediting someone that I don't know who it is or myself. This is non-stick spray. Okay, imagine if this works and I invented something. So we need 1/2 cup of molasses. Ooh. That is sticky. That was easy. Wait, because that actually works. I am a genius. This is why I should be studying science, not making YouTube videos. I could have coded it a little bit better, but look, it's pretty clean. So we're gonna combine the dark molasses with the brown sugar. Suddenly the gingerbread, it's gingerbreading. Like, this is, it smells right, it looks right. Next step, sift all dry ingredients together and add butter mixture in thirds, alternating with water. That sounds complicated. Can we just add the whole thing? No thanks, I choose my own destiny. Sift all dry ingredients. First of all, no. Immediately no. I've never done that. That's cleaning one more bowl that I don't need to. And add butter mixture in thirds, alternating with water. Okay, we can do something along those lines. How much water? 1/2 cup, great. Because I needed to wash the 1/2 cup anyways. How much flour? So we're gonna need 1/2 cup of water. I should have probably washed this, but we'll be fine. It's half a cup of water. So I'm gonna combine the dry ingredients on the side because there's a whole lot of spices. I'm gonna start with the first spice, flour. 3.5 cups of flour. I mean, it is bread, I guess. I don't even know if I have that much. There's nothing worse than measuring flour because it always spills. That's 1 cup, 2 cups of flour, 3 cups of flour. My gluten allergy suddenly flaring up. And half a cup of flour and a little bit of gingerbread. Molasses, alternatively known as gingerbread sauce. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Why are things so weird in America? How am I gonna get 1 teaspoon out of here? Oh wait, this might actually be helpful. Never mind. Well, that is kind of helpful. So 1 teaspoon of baking soda, half a teaspoon of cloves, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 3 teaspoons of ginger. Don't even get me started on the price of ginger. 3 teaspoons of ginger. Gonna be spicy. And that is 3 teaspoons. And half a teaspoon of salt. Is this salt? Yes. Had a tiny heart attack. And soon a real heart attack. And last, 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. And that is the dry ingredient, so I guess you can mix this to make sure it's like well blended, but I don't know if that was clever because now the spices are attached to me. Now we have to combine the water, the dry ingredients, and the butter molasses mixture into one. According to Walt Disney, there's rules on how to do this, so I'm gonna try to follow those rules. The official instruction is sift all dry ingredients together, which we kind of did, and add to the butter mixture in thirds, alternating with water. Okay, so I'm gonna add about 1/3 of the dry ingredients. That's about 1/3, I guess. And we're gonna combine it. Ooh, gingerbread is gingerbreading. Ooh! The whisk is whisking. I can't stop saying it. I'm trying to stop. So we're gonna add 1/3 of the water. We do need it. Why is this so fast? I need like a slower speed. So I'm gonna add another 1/3. And I kind of want to add the water already, because otherwise this is not gonna mix very well. I'm trying to fight the urge to say that the dough is... I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it. Don't say it. It's doughing. So I'm gonna add the rest of the dry ingredients now. All of it. I'm usually not a fan of separating the dry ingredients in a separate bowl, but for this recipe it's kind of necessary. And we're gonna add the water as well. And hopefully this is gonna work. Here goes nothing. Okay. I'm pretty sure this has worked. For some reason, gingerbread always comes together once you put your hands in the dough. It is quite a light gingerbread dough, and there's some white bits in it, so maybe we didn't combine it enough. Maybe it'll get darker as it sits in the fridge. Sometimes that happens. So this is our gingerbread dough. I'm gonna work it a little bit until it's fully blended. So the recipe doesn't say anything about kneading the dough. Maybe that was just implied. There's no other way to do this if you want this to actually come out good. I'm not being dramatic, but this literally makes all the difference. Like, look how smooth this is now. This is now looking like gingerbread. It also looks darker, which is kind of the color that I was expecting. Cannot believe that I can make gingerbread now. Thank you for the recipe, Disney. Look how well blended this is. Even in the center, it's like perfectly smooth. It actually looks like gingerbread dough. So the good news is this recipe is promising. The bad news is you do need to knead it, which is annoying. But according to my Apple Watch, I've just burned 300 calories doing it. I'm trying not to cover the whole book in gingerbread. Store the dough wrapped in plastic in the refrigerator until well chilled. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. My take from that is refrigerators existed in 1970. I would have never thought. And plastic wrap. I thought plastic was invented in 2004. There's nothing that I hate more in this world than plastic wrap. It always does what I don't know. We're gonna grab the dough and just wrap it in the plastic and off to the fridge for 30 minutes. No, until well chilled. A few Christmas ago, I made a video with a lady who professionally does gingerbread, and now I'm the professional lady who makes gingerbread dough. How the tables have turned. So while the gingerbread is chilling, we're gonna move on to making the royal icing. As a general rule, I never make royal icing because I don't like the fact that it's got egg whites in it and it's not cooked. There's no chances of getting poisoning from raw egg whites, but eating eggs as it is, chicken period, cooked, pretty gross already, so I'm entitled to my opinion. I am valid. I just validated my own opinion. Add the cream of tartar to the egg whites and beat the egg whites in a small. We're gonna start with 1 egg white. I just want to say that I think the measurements for the royal icing are wrong because it's too much sugar, it's too much of everything. But we'll see. So that's 1 egg white. So there you go, 2 egg whites. Because this royal icing makes me not even want to eat this. That's how much I don't like it. I'm reconsidering whether I want to go on this Disneyland ride. And suddenly I understand why they don't want this book on sale anymore. So we need 1/8 of cream of tartar. I don't even know what cream of tartar is. 1/8 is very, very little. I think the cream of tartar makes the egg whites fluffy. I wish you would make them cooked. And we're going to whip this, hopefully. Fingers crossed. This is our egg whites. I think they're pretty solid. That's where we want them. To this, we're gonna add the icing sugar. And I just want to shock you. This is the amount of icing sugar that we need for this royal icing. It's 1/2 kilogram. So we're gonna add this slowly. I'm only 50% into the icing sugar, and look at the consistency. This is incredibly thick already. Why is Disney acting like we have health insurance? Maybe they did back then. Like, this is crazy. This makes me not want to even eat the gingerbread. Happiest place on earth, that's what they say. I'm not an expert in royal icing, but yeah, something's not right here. I told you the amount of sugar doesn't add up. Continue to whip frosting until a smooth, spreadable consistency is reached. Smooth, spreadable consistency. It is consistently grainy, that's for sure. Spreadable it is. Wait, it actually is spreadable. Wait, this might be right. It is kind of smooth. I guess I know nothing about frosting because this seems... How am I gonna apply this on the cookies? I guess we worry about it at the right time. I mean, I definitely followed the instruction for this, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. Okay guys, so now that the dough is officially chilled, I'm sorry, we'll never talk about this ever again. The dough is pretty solid, it's fully chilled. Let's do a dough reveal. That looks great. This is exactly what I was looking for. Like the color now, it's perfect. You see how shiny it is? I just know this is gonna be good. So this is a great recipe, I think, as it turns out. Flour, obviously. So we're gonna flour the surface, and I guess I'm going to divide the gingerbread into 8, just because I decided. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is great! I need to show you this. If you know gingerbread, you know this is what you're looking for. I have a video on someone professionally making gingerbread on my channel. And honestly, I don't want to say it, but we're all thinking it. I guess if you suck at something long enough, you become good at it. So I'm just going to make this smaller, just so that it's manageable. So I'm gonna cut it. Great, so I'm just gonna take one of the doughs and I'm gonna save the rest. You might be wondering how we're gonna transform this into the Mickey Mouse shape, and honestly, I'm just gonna look at the image on my iPad and I'm gonna try to do it with a knife. I don't even know if I own a rolling pin. I do not. Oh wait, yes I do. Okay, so I'm gonna roll the dough. It doesn't say anything about the thickness, so actually, I might need 2 of them. Change of plans. Now would be a great time to have the information on whether gingerbread rises or stays the same. I think it stays the same. So I'm not gonna roll this out too thin because I do want it to be soft. Okay, that'll be it. So now I attempt to make a Mickey Mouse with a knife. Oh, this is impossible. Can I use a Sharpie or something? I'm gonna use a knife first, like a stencil situation. Okay, so this will be the ears. Okay, that's great. This will be the face. This is why when you have creativity, you don't need to go and buy cookie cutters and all that. Like, it's fine. We can make anything work. So we're gonna make anything work. So far, it's going great. It's not perfect, but keep in mind we did not have any kind of professional cutter for this or any kind of professional anything for this. So in the end, everything goes well. Okay, it's not terrible. Let me just tighten up the edges. I feel like it could be okay, you know? I'm gonna use a spatula to attempt to show you this. This is a dangerous game that I'm playing here. So this is the shape that we created just by looking at the image. I mean, I know it's not perfect, but it's not terrible. I feel like once he bakes and the edges kind of puff up a little bit, it will look like something you'd buy at Disneyland. Maybe with the frosting. I'm gonna make 4 of these and then I'm gonna show you. One of them is gonna come out great. This is the image I'm using for reference. Oh no. Mine looks like he had a terrible childhood and the other one was born in a gated community. I have no idea how I'm gonna show you this. Slight change of plans. I ended up making only 2 cookies because I actually think they look great, especially this one. This was the second one. It looks really good. Suddenly it's gingerbread on the way to the emergency room. So I'm gonna bake these 2 cookies. I think this will be perfect. One of them is going to come out good. I just know it. Okay, so it says in here to bake on a cookie sheet for 8 to 10 minutes depending on the size. And that's it. Then you can basically decorate it. So I'm gonna bake it and hopefully this works. I know you're gonna ask me what I'm gonna do with the rest of the dough. I'm actually gonna save it because I just realized Christmas is coming and my dad loves gingerbread cookies, so I make it every single year. This is great. Filming a video, Christmas baking, 2 months in advance. So I put the cookies in the fridge for like 10 minutes just while the oven was preheating. So according to the book, 350 Fahrenheit for 8 to 10 minutes. So let's say 9 minutes. Here goes nothing. So 8 to 10 minutes, and I'm gonna show you the result. This was 9 minutes, and I think it's ready. Oh, that is definitely ready. Ouch! These are supposed to be heat protectant. What the hell? So I have good news and bad news. The good news is one on this side looks incredible, apart from whatever that weird spot is. This one looks like a voodoo doll. If you want to practice dark magic on someone that you hate, this might be good news. I'm gonna wait for them to cool down because I think and I hope they're gonna get a little bit darker. The cookies are practically cooled down, so I think I can lift them. I'm gonna show you the best one first. This one turned out pretty good. Like, that actually looks really good. I just thought it was gonna be a little bit darker. Maybe the recipe for the gingerbread has changed because even though it feels the same, this one's a lot lighter. Is this lighter than the gingerbread from Disneyland that you guys remember? It is cooked, I think. The first one we made, it just looks a little bit like a voodoo doll. Like, it's just a little patchy. It's still cute. Okay, so we gotta decorate the cookies. So for that, we're gonna use the royal icing that we made. Is this what royal icing is like? I've got a piping bag. This royal icing is so solid that I can just spread it directly on the cookies. This has to be enough royal icing. Obviously, ideally we would add all the food colorings and everything to the cookie, but I'm just gonna stick with white and I'm gonna do the design that they've done on the image, the one they do at Disneyland, but just all in white. I'm gonna use the ugly cookie as my practice run. Why is this icing so lumpy? But what do I know? It seems like it's smoothing out actually. This is my practice run. If anything comes out. Why is it not sticking to the cookie? Wait, do I need to put this in the microwave? Can I put this in the microwave? Okay. This is why I'm a genius. I think this will work. It works. Okay, it's not the easiest thing in the world. It started rough, but eventually we got there. Like, I started here, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. Wait, maybe, oh no, it's bad again, but now it's good. I'm just gonna do it. It is what it is. Okay, I'm just gonna go for it. Here goes nothing, literally. Okay, that's not terrible. We messed up in one side, but that was it. That strange spot in the middle, which I think is like a bit of burnt sugar, it's just gonna be the nose. So I'm just gonna cover it. Nope. That's bad. Okay, this is terrible. Why does he not stick to the cookie? Why does he have to have a bow tie? That is the worst thing ever. Okay. It is not exactly what I was promised, but it kind of does look like something you'd buy at Disneyland. Like a Disneyland knockoff, a theme park, Six Flags, a circus, a state fair at best. This is so silly. Why does it look happy? Oh well. Is it the gingerbread Mickey that we expected? No, but it's probably the one that we deserve. By the way, I just want to say this is getting darker by the second, so it turns out that it might actually get to the other color, where you can really see it in the back. Do you see how it's literally getting darker? I actually think there might be a chance that this is the recipe they still use for the current gingerbread. I'm not gonna eat this one because I want this one for the thumbnail! Now when you see the thumbnail of this video, there's gonna be a one like Mickey. This is why we can have nice things. This self is so strong that I bet it can glue a leg. Oh, not me being a surgeon. Okay, that's an improvement. I'm gonna just Photoshop that little corner. By the way, this icing is weird. I'm gonna eat the ugly one just to try it. So I wanna see if it's soft, so let's see if it's soft, the gingerbread. That is pretty good. This is the gingerbread that I like at Disneyland. Let's try it. That's pretty bad. This is nothing like gingerbread. I'm not saving this dough anymore. It's really dry. It's like eating sand. Actually, I would prefer to eat sand over this. The flavor is not even good. I don't know. There's so many spices in here, but there's not enough sugar. Butter? Maybe in the 70s this tasted okay. I don't know when taste buds were invented, but clearly after 1970. This makes me very hopeful for the other recipes we're gonna try. Maybe the additives and hormones in our food in current times are not so bad. Okay, so this is a savory recipe from volume 2. This one is from the appetizers section. This is the one. This is the one that I really want to try. There's like 0% chance that I'm not going to love this. Well, we'll see. So this is the recipe that we're gonna try. This is the recipe for the deep fried mozzarella, which I guess that was the name for it in the 70s, deep fried mozzarella. From my research, Disneyland still serves this dish to this day, but it's called deep fried cheese sticks. Wait, let me show you. If it goes according to plan, this is what I want. This is what I'm expecting. A giant piece of cheese, you bite into it, and it's super stretchy. So on here it says that currently you can find this at Downtown Disney. I really should know my Disney knowledge, but I don't. I have no idea what Downtown Disney is. Isn't the whole of Disney downtown? Like, what else? Disney suburbs? Anyway, so back in the 70s, the deep fried mozzarella was found at the Cafe Villa Verde and Disneyland Hotel. So if you were alive in the 70s, do you remember? I don't know. I don't really care. I think I got all the ingredients here. This is the mozzarella that we're going to fry. This is basically like a block of low moisture mozzarella cheese. So I hope it's stretchy. The only thing I didn't have was breadcrumbs. So we're gonna make our own because this is who I am now. Just someone who knows how to make things. The growth. Okay, so this is toasted. We got everything. So we need about 1 cup of breadcrumbs. I have no idea. I think I overly did it. I think 4 slices will probably be enough for 1 cup, but well, we'll see. I'm just gonna put it in this food processor. So I just toasted the bread slightly in one side because I don't want it to be too toasty, then it burns when we fry this. Just a little bit of extra crunch because it was fresh bread. Is this too tight? Let's try it like this. Okay, I kind of wanted like grainy because the crispiness is going to be the best on the fried cheese and it's going to look more it's like something you get at Disneyland. I don't want it to be smooth. Okay, so we need about 1 cup of breadcrumbs, which I think this is plenty, turns out. So there you go, 1 cup of breadcrumbs. And this is going to be the perfect consistency because they're still soft. I mean, I might as well just add the rest in case I need it. Cut the mozzarella cheese into 3-inch sticks about 1/2 inch thick. I think this recipe makes tiny mozzarella sticks, but I kind of want a modern version. So I'm going to just cut mine a little bit bigger. I don't want to fry this 20 different times. I want to fry this once. So this is 1 block of mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna make 2 giant mozzarella sticks. This is what I'm doing. Turns out I do choose my own destiny. This is going to be insane. Imagine eating half a block of mozzarella in one go. Truly the happiest place on earth. Oh my god, this is... Please don't break. Wait, is this too big? Am I being crazy? You saw that image from Disneyland. And if you go to like a corn dog restaurant, they'll give you this amount of cheese. So wait, do they? Should we cut this in half and make 4? No, I want this much cheese. This is how much cheese I want. I'm gonna fry the amount of cheese that I want. So this is going to be the insane amount of cheese that we're gonna deep fry. Combine the breadcrumbs and chopped parsley in a small bowl. So I've got some fresh parsley. I don't know exactly which part is edible. I know we need 1/4 cup of it, which is quite a lot. So this never happened to me. There was an insane amount of bugs coming out of this parsley. So goodbye, ladybug. Chop chop. How much is 1/4 cup? It's quite a lot. Ugh. Is that a worm? Oh, that's pretty horrifying. Okay, something is wrong with this. Suddenly I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. I'm just gonna get rid of this altogether. This is why I don't necessarily agree that fresh stuff is always better. Do you know what it's not in dried parsley? Anything living. Any kind of living creatures. If you use dry parsley, only you'll be living. So 1/4 cup, maybe it should be less because this is like dry, but well, that goes on my parsley. We're definitely going to be able to taste it. 1/4 cup of parsley added to the 1 cup of breadcrumbs. Wow, I'm going to deep fry this and it's going to be green. And we're just going to combine the breadcrumbs and the parsley. Oh, this is going to be nice. I know. I just know. I love the sound of this. This is one of the best ASMRs. Listen to it. I bet you can't hear it. It's just gonna be my stomach thinking of those 2 blocks of deep fried cheese. We're gonna need 3 eggs. I'm paranoid that there's bugs crawling all over me now. I'm like... And we're going to whisk this. Okay, after further consideration, I think the egg should be in a larger bowl because it's a giant piece of cheese. So I'm just gonna transfer the egg into here. So we basically got everything that we need for this. We've got the 1/2 cup of flour, 3 eggs, and then this one is going to be the breadcrumbs. And of course, don't forget the giant pieces of cheese. I guess I'm just gonna use my hands for this. I just prefer to do this kind of stuff with my hands. I'm the only one who's gonna eat this, but I don't know why I'm trying to be extra sanitary. Okay, so in the first bowl, we're gonna coat the cheese with the plain flour. It says on the recipe to basically shake off any excess. Now that it's nice and coated in flour, we're gonna dip it in the egg. Oh, this actually works. And now from the egg, this is going to go straight into the breadcrumbs. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Would you look at this? Like all the parsley and everything. This is just gonna be so good once this is all deep fried. It seemed like a lot of breadcrumbs, but suddenly it's like not that much. Like it's going to be enough to make 2 giant ones or maybe 4 to 6 of the smaller ones. So this is going to be our giant mozzarella stick. Disneyland 70s inspired, but a different size. Man, I cannot wait to bite into this. I hope it's gonna be melty and stretchy. Flour. Something about mozzarella really sticks well to flour. Like this is not difficult at all. Egg. And from the egg straight into the breadcrumb. This is the one that is the most satisfying. I love covering that because it just sticks so well. Perfect. This looks pretty damn incredible. In the end, this is kind of what the mozzarella sticks look like. That was pretty easy, and I much prefer doing 2 than doing this 8 different times, and I think the result's gonna be better. I am going to put this in the fridge for like 10 minutes just because they're getting a little bit too soft and I don't want this to like melt as we fry it. So we're gonna do that. Okay, so the frying instructions are not very specific. It says, when oil is hot, fry a few cheese sticks at a time to a golden brown. Drain on paper towels. repeat until all cheese has been fried. Thank you, Walt Disney. That's basically like saying create motions with your body until food is cooked. I want to make sure this is like hot first, because that's the mistake always. So meanwhile, I'm gonna prepare just some paper towels to absorb all the grease. This is a bad idea, but I'll keep it here. I think the oil should be ready. It's been heating up for too long. There's such thing as oil being too hot that it catches on fire. It has happened in a video before. Cooking steak. Someone knows which video it is. Okay, here goes nothing. Here goes our fried cheese. I'm just gonna do it. So I kind of cool down the fried cheese a little bit. I'm gonna start out with one, and then I'm gonna see how this cooks and then do the other one in case it's not hot enough or something. That is incredible. So far, I'm just glad it's not splashing everywhere. Should I turn it already? It looks great. It's not melting weird or anything. It's not splashing. Oh, it's getting really soft now. Okay, I'm not gonna flip it anymore. Oh, I think I need to get it out. Oh, it doesn't come out. Okay, wait. Oh my god, no. I gotta have a tool for this. I think this is the one. Oh my god. No, 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 no. Okay. Maybe that wasn't so bad. This was the most adrenaline I've ever felt. I'm gonna have to lie down after this. The good news is, I mean, we managed to do it, and it is super crispy on the outside. Listen to this. The bad news is you kind of have to wait a little bit before you eat it, because it does go melty so quickly. Like so quickly. Too quickly, to a fault. I was worried this was not gonna be stretchy once we bite into it. This might be too stretchy. That didn't occur to me. Should we still try it? Not me catching on fire. Okay, this actually is more solid than I was thinking. Look at our cheese stick. It's straight out of Disneyland. I mean, not quite, but kind of. I feel like if I wait a little bit, it'll be a little more solid, but it's not too bad. Let's give it a try. Oh my god, it's incredible. Wow. Wait, I thought it was going to be stretchier, but the center is not stretchy yet. Should we just put it back in? I put it back in. I put it back in. It's too late now. I've done it. I'm still gonna eat the leftovers. How do I know when it's ready? Because it seems ready. Oh, okay, it's more than ready. It's too ready. Now it's too stretchy. Ah! I think the hot oil just burned my back. So we're done with the cheese situation. The first time around, it was perfect on the outside. This time around, it's ruined on the outside. But this time around, it's stretchy. So I'm never gonna be able to win. It doesn't even hold anymore, but... Honestly, flavor? Easy, 10 out of 10. I mean, it's truly crispy, cheesy, it's literally perfect. Maybe don't make a giant one. That was probably my mistake. I have no idea how people do this. If anyone knows how to do this, I mean, I cooled the cheese. Maybe it should have been fully frozen. That would have probably been better. Still tastes great. Maybe I should go to Disneyland tomorrow. So this recipe is from Cooking with Mickey Around the World, which is volume 1. So this is from the dessert section, and I'm very excited about this. I know you'd be expecting this from this video, but this is the recipe for the Disneyland chocolate chip cookies. I mean, if you've been to Disneyland, you've tried a chocolate chip cookie. They've got quite a few. Because this is from so long ago, I don't know exactly what chocolate chip cookie this is. Maybe you guys know from where you can find it. You can find this at the farmer's market, at the Land, and at Epcot Center, which I think I've been to Epcot. I don't know what that is. I've been there. So this is a recipe right here. It's pretty short. Okay, this is kind of what I'm expecting. This is what I'm gonna try to shape the cookies like. This is my personal favorite cookie at Disneyland, and I'm expecting nothing but this. If it doesn't look like that, I'm gonna be so mad. These ingredients are so weird. Like, I've never seen this stuff before. This is literally because it's an old recipe. Like, this is not how we make cookies these days. So that will be interesting. Maybe this is how people make cookies at Disneyland. I don't know. So the first step is to cream together the sugar, shortening, salt, baking powder, vanilla, and egg until light and fluffy. It's really interesting that a chocolate chip cookie is made with white sugar because I don't know, at least for my preference, I would have used brown sugar. But this is 3/4 of a cup of white sugar. To this, I'm gonna add Crisco vegetable shortening. What even is Crisco? What's a Crisco? Who's Crisco? We need half a cup of Crisco. Okay, first of all, I'm already pissed at Crisco. Crisco, you already on my bad side. What even is this? So this is made from a vegetable. I don't know what the vegetable was eating. So we need half a cup of Crisco. So this is half a cup, so I'm gonna... This is wild. I've never done this while baking something. It's like coconut oil. Maybe that's what it tastes like. Nope, that's not giving coconut oil. So half a cup of Crisco. This is so strange. What a strange recipe. I feel like I'm cooking in the medieval times. 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. About this much. Maybe a little more. 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. This vanilla extract is so strong, so this will be more like 1 tablespoon, but 1 egg. All the kind of like wet ingredients, actually most of them kind of go in at once. So it is a really simple recipe. It's not too complicated. And we're gonna mix this until it's light and fluffy. So kind of like how you do with a normal cookie. Wait, because I might be fully converted to Crisco. It looks good. I don't know about the flavor, but it's a good base in terms of texture. Okay, this is basically... We're almost done with the dough. I guess things were simpler in the 70s. Simple 70s. Isn't that what they say? Another ingredient that I've never seen before is cake flour. I guess it's like flour, but for cakes. Pretty self-explanatory. I don't know what's in it. It's just flour. I'm so confused by this. So this is a cookie made with cake flour. Interesting. So we need 1 cup of the cake flour. So I'm gonna do 4 of these. This is 1/4 of a cup. 2, 3, and 4. And then this is very specific, but 2 extra tablespoons of cake flour. 1, 2. And last but not least, the chocolate chips. This is really interesting because on the recipe it says 1 package of chocolate chips. And then it says like in quotations, 8 ounces. And I was like, 8 ounces for 1 package of chocolate chips? That seems like very little. I don't think you could even find that. And then I realized back then things were smaller, like food came in smaller amounts. So 50 years later, or 40 something years later, 8 ounces, which used to be the standard, has become 12 ounces. So chocolate chips these days actually have 12 ounces as a standard. Actually, I just realized I should probably mix in the flour before I add the chocolate chips. This feels so soft. This is the softest cookie dough I've ever made. It feels nothing like a modern cookie dough, which would be darker. It would have brown sugar. It would have brown butter, possibly. This one has no butter. You definitely don't want to use the electric mixer for this step because that would be overkill. This is really, really soft. Do you see how soft this dough is? It's almost strange how soft this is. It feels like a sugar cookie. So to this, we're supposed to add 8 ounces of chocolate chips. So this is 12 ounces. Let me guess how much 8 ounces is. They would probably be horrified at the food sizes these days. Oh wait, those people are still alive, right? Was the 70s that long ago? Wait, is that when my parents were born? Wait, this actually looks really good. This doesn't look like a homemade cookie though. Do you see how it looks artificial? It looks like what I would expect Disneyland's cookies to be made like, in a giant factory every morning. Wow, it does not feel homemade at all. It smells like nothing. It kind of smells like chocolate, but in a very artificial way. I cannot explain, but it's weird. So it asks to put this in plastic wrap and put this in the fridge for a long time. Because it's so soft, it kind of makes sense. I'm just gonna put this in the fridge, kind of as it is. It'll be fine. So I ended up chilling the dough in a disc because this way it increases the surface area for quicker chill. I've really become an expert in chilling. So let me unwrap the dough. Still very wet. I don't know. Strange. This is really wet for a dough. I guess I'm going to just make a tiny circle. It could be that it works, you know. Honestly, at this point, I don't know. I feel like that'll be a good size for like an average cookie. Let's make a slightly bigger one. Definitely do not flatten them out because these are so soft. They're gonna be like... So this is supposed to bake for 10 minutes at 350 degrees and the oven is just preheating now. I'm gonna make just a regular cookie size for this one on this side. For the one on this side, I'm gonna try to make a Mickey Mouse shaped cookie. I don't think it's gonna be possible though because this dough is so soft that I don't think this is gonna work out, but I'm still gonna try. So I'm just going to place, I guess, 2 little bits of dough, one on each side, and hope that it connects. This is the only way to get a Mickey Mouse shape with this dough, because it's so soft. If I press it together, it's just gonna become one cookie with no definition on the ears. We want that ear definition, because I don't think the Mickey Mouse cookie is gonna work. I'm gonna make another cookie just on this side here. Technically on the recipe it says to bake, cut into 1/2 inch slices and bake at 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. So I think they wanted us to make like a very long, like a dough sausage and then slice it. As soon as the oven is ready, I'm ready. Me when I buy a frozen pizza from the supermarket. So if my plan works, this will become a Mickey Mouse shaped cookie and this will just become nice Disneyland quality cookies, hopefully. It's looking too soft though, and that is just my honest opinion. But what is my opinion worth? So I'm gonna put it in the oven and I'll show you in 10 minutes. Please come out Mickey Mouse shaped. Please, please, please do your thing. For good luck. I'm not even gonna look. I don't wanna look at all. It's been way too long. It's been like almost half an hour and I feel like the edges are kind of cooked now, but I don't know if it's fully cooked. What I do know is I think we did it. Ouch! This is so stupid. Whoever makes these, jail. This is supposed to be heat protecting. I think we managed to get the shape that we wanted. Ouch! I don't want to mess with it before it cools down, but I think we managed to get the shape. Okay, so while the cookies are cooling down, I melted the remaining of the chocolate chips that I bought for the video, and I am just going to combine them. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use this melted chocolate as like a drizzle on top of the cookies to sort of make it look like the Disneyland ones, you know, the decorated ones that I showed you. We're not gonna go too fancy, just a few drizzles, that's it. So this is just, oh, this is very hot, I'm trying to show you, but it's just melted chocolate. The dropping, the drizzling, drizzling. So here's our cookies, and I've never been more nervous. They're really strange cookies. They're really not like normal current time cookies because they're very white. They're soft, crispy, so that's good. But you see, like, they overcook in the bottom and then they look pale. And by the way, this took like 20 minutes, not 10. At 10 minutes, they were just raw dough. So something's off with the recipe for sure. This one looks lighter on this side, even though we baked for the exact same amount of time. I don't get it. Now, I'm nervous about this. I really wanted to come out in one. Okay, maybe I'll show you like a close-up. I mean, it looks great. It ended up being exactly the way we planned it. My biggest fear is that this, I'm gonna lift it up and this one is just gonna come out on its own. So I haven't touched it at all. I'm just letting it kind of like cool down. I do want to do the drizzles on top like they do at Disneyland. I don't know how to do a drizzle. This is my attempt. Oh my god, the drizzling. Maybe it's easier with a knife? No, it's nothing to do with the utensil. It's with the chef. I'm still gonna do it. It's whatever. Oh, never mind. Why is it not drizzling? My drizzle is broken. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No. I don't know if my chocolate is broken, whatever it is. Something ain't adding up here. I literally don't know another way to do it. Okay, that looks good. Oh my god, what have I done? I was distracted. This is not the serve that I thought it was gonna be. Okay, that was kind of a slay. Me when I lied to myself. Look at the waste that I made. I'm gonna put this in the fridge. Maybe it'll look better in a second. I do wonder if I can move all the cookies together. What do you guys think? Should we try? Wait, it might work. Oh my god, that kind of worked. That is kind of what I was hoping for. I just need this to cool down a little with chocolate. But that kind of looks like something you'd buy at Disneyland, right? I'm actually really happy with this. That looks like something you'd buy at Disneyland. Something that would cost way too much. No offense. Oh no! 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 I'm joking. This is pretty traumatic. Like, I do want to cry. I do. I'm gonna place my head so that I'm the other ear. That could be like Olaf, right? I'm just annoyed that I did that. It was all going so well. I think I just dropped it too hard or something. But overall, I'm still happy with it. Okay, let's see what the cookie is all about. The Disneyland cookie. It's very soft. It's so white in the center. It's aggressively white. Interesting. Fluffy and crispy. Let's see. That is good. That tastes exactly like the cookies you get, not the ones you make at home, the ones you get at like theme parks, cafes. This is pretty incredible. This texture, it's so chewy. It is a great cookie. It doesn't even need the drizzle that I've done on it or the decoration. It's an incredible cookie. I don't even need the butter. I never thought I would ever say that. There are so many more of these recipes that I do want to try. Some because the ingredients are super strange, and others because I want to compare them to current Disneyland foods. So please, and I really mean this, please let me know in the comment section if you guys want to watch another one of these. And I kind of want to see a comparison from back in the day to like right now. If you go to Disneyland and get it, that would be a whole video. If you do want to watch a part 2, please, and I really mean this, please let me know in the comment section, because I want to make it. So if you want to see that, don't forget to give this video a like, only if you truly want to see a part 2. Don't forget to subscribe and switch my notifications, so when I post more episodes of this, you will be notified. But before I go, I had the best idea. So I am going to basically show you guys the full index of this book, so every single recipe that's in this book, which is a lot of them. If there's ever been a time to take advantage of my 4K definition, it's now. Tap that 4K button, please. Let me know if any dish kind of stands out. Maybe we could do like a voting system in the comment section, or I'll just gonna go and read your comments, and for the next episode I'll just basically do all of you guys' favorites. So that's the plan for the next video. Let me know if you guys enjoy this, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye.